Mommy. Hello, this is Sybil Harmony, and you can see Apollo down there in the corner. Come here, boy. We're going to answer political questions here. And so we've got a lot of good questions here. The new Democratic Party, the new people who are coming in. Um, will the shutdown end today? Looks like we're getting close to it. The Epstein information is coming out. Let's look again at that because it has to go through the House, the Senate, and then get signed off by the gangster in the White House. So how's that going to go? I think it's coming out anyway. Let's look at Atlas. I think it's called Atlas 1-3, the comet, or 3I. Okay. The new Kennedy coming on the scene, Schlossenberger. So that kind of goes with the new Democratic Party. And I want to look at, is Kankles wearing a machine to keep his heart going? Because it looks like it. Will we get stimulus checks? There's a lot to get to here. So let's get started. And you can leave questions on my community page. I'm going to be on live Saturday morning, 10 o'clock Pacific time for political questions, answering your questions. And then at 12 o'clock Saturday, I'm going to do a special holiday readings and healings. And so I'm going to pick a few people in the audience and give them a reading and on the YouTube live, okay? And then we will all do a group healing. So primarily, I'm a medium, a psychic, and an energy healer. Politics is just something I started doing to assist. I am going to send you Samadhi right now, healing vibes. And that transmutes through all time and directions as I'm sending out good energy to you while you're watching this. A lot of people report that they feel good after watching my videos. That may be why. And besides, I have a really positive but truthful take on things. And everything happens for a reason. I mean, there are some, strangely enough, benefits to Kankles getting in office because we're going to have a whole new world and a government after this. And who knew, people like me and all the whole community of readers who got to go on and connect with people. I mean, we've been telling you a lot of this stuff for a long time, but now it's finally a little more on the news. Like, he is sleeping during a cabinet meeting? And I thought that was Sleepy Joe who did the sleeping. And this isn't really a Democrat or Republican thing so much it is a democracy thing, taking back our country, because a lot of Republicans aren't Republicans anymore, and the Democrat Party is changing too. It's becoming the newer people, the people who are not, I'm not saying some of the establishment are a little bit too corporate for people, and people really need assistance in this country, and we want to get our country back on track, actually create a whole new energy. And we're doing that. And this is going to take a while. You want, even if Kankel say he leaves with whatever way, however way, in the next 2, 3, 5, 6 months, okay? Say he's out of here. We still have all these this corruption. That doesn't just go away. This has been being, people have been programming with Fox News for years, for decades, with, making you think that you need to do anything to get ahead. The most important thing is money and profits. And now people are going to die. People are going to die because of what they're doing with healthcare now. In the most wealthy country in the world, we have horrible healthcare that's now going to be hugely expensive. And I'm not saying doctors and nurses are bad, but I am not really a fan of the big drug companies, although some drugs save lives, and I'm not telling you not to take, I'm not, telling you not to take your medication. I'm just saying that it's a big money racket, billions of dollars pushed out because you take one drug and it gives you symptoms and then another, and then you get cancer. I mean, you have a heart condition, it can take 2.5 months to get in to see a specialist. And this is, and you're paying for all, now you're going to be paying even more if you can even have insurance. I am going to start doing, I might do it at the end of this video, home health cares. YouTube said I could do home remedies, and I and so I'm going to start doing some of those. Like, I've cured myself from sleep apnea. I tried that machine. I'm like, oh no, I'm not sleeping on a machine. I'll tell you how. There's a lot of things that, while you're waiting for the doctor, not instead of a doctor, of course, but while you're waiting, or maybe you got thrown off your health insurance, things that you can do at home, a lot of that is, especially if you're older, younger people do this, they're pumping the muscles, the weights. You've got to keep your muscles toned. You've got to eat healthy, even if it's like more soups or bone broth, or starting a little vegetable herb garden. We've got to get off the sugar and the junk, and I'm always preaching about that. But I'm not, because our food is just in this, we're like, okay, just look at it this way. In the Bible, it says that people lived 800 to 700 years. What happened? From stress, from lack of knowledge and wisdom, because in ancient times they had herbs, they had essential oils, they knew things, and they probably even did types of surgery in Egypt and Atlantis and places. They knew about science, but there was less stress and less toxins on the planet. And I understand we need to do cancer research to save children and people, but we already know what causes cancer. We're still dumping chemicals. Okay, so don't let me get started with that. But I have some good things that I can share with you that I might start doing at the end of my videos if people like that. Or I could make separate videos on, like, how I healed from sleep apnea, how I improved my heart. Just some things are just, some things are common, basic, but you got to do them. And I also want to talk to people about what is energy healing. What I do is, when I do healings, and that I've seen people come in front of me, like, my arm's been hurting for 3 years. The doctors can't do anything. I don't know what it is. I do a reading and that's from a past life. I do a reading and healing, and the pain is gone. So that can happen too. So there are physical things we can do. You got to have your doctor, your insurance, or hopefully single, Medicare for all, which is the best. Okay. Then there's, your diet, your exercise, herbs, supplements, which you need to talk to a healthcare. I can't prescribe things to you, but I can tell you what I've done or what other people do. And then there's energy healing. So there's 3 different categories. Energy healing is something that a lot of people don't know about until they experience it. It's an ancient shamanic, kind of like faith healing. A lot of those preachers in the churches, like, they're doing like, you're healed, the person, that's not real. But I have seen real faith healing, whether you believe it or not. I don't care. I know what I've seen. And so anyway, okay, we do want to talk about the health insurance, but we'll talk about that in regards to the shutdown. Okay. So let's start as Schlossenberger and the New Democrats. The New Democrats coming in, like, look at Jasmine Crockett. I think Gavin Newsom is not new. Bernie Sanders is not young, but he has new ideas. So it's more, people say it's the younger people, but I think it's the younger ideas. that are less corporate. You might call that progressive. But people are really dissatisfied with people selling out to lobbyists and corporations and not being honest. I think all Republicans are crooked. And I don't think all Democrats are crooked, but I think that some of them could do better and some of them shouldn't be in office. And there are some really awesome, like look at AOC and Jasmine Crockett and Ro Khanna and the guy who's, I forget what's his name, who's doing the Epstein thing in Congress, that young, he has an Hispanic name. I think it starts with a G. I'm sorry, I can't remember his name. I can see his face. It'll probably come to me. But Sheldon Whitehouse has young ideas. He is anti-corruption, and so there's a lot of people. Oh, yeah. Well, we should look at Chuck Schumer. I think he's not going to. Well, we'll talk about that when we talk about the shutdown. Let's look at the new Democrat Schlossenberger. Now he's going to run for Jerry. He's going to fight Jerry Nadler's seat, try to get his seat. And I don't know a lot about Jerry Nadler, but I do know that he was part of the January 6th committee. So I think he's done some good work. And I think he's had health issues. I think he still does have health issues. And I just feel like Schlossenberger is the great grandson or the grandson of John Kennedy, I believe. He's a Kennedy grandson. So he has the name and he has a big social following. You have to have that to win in politics now. And he's talking about, standing up to this crooked president. And he's a young, attractive guy. The thing that I noticed about him is that he has, I read people's body and their energy. He has these lines right here in his face, which could be like, uh-oh, you got a health issue. But I think with him, it's not a health issue. Because at first I thought, uh-oh. As I looked at more pictures of him in the news and whatever he was, these lines here are actually pretty deep in some pictures in his face. And that is somebody who really cares about helping people. Oh, we could do that. Okay. That's what we need. So I feel like he has a career in, I feel like he'll win. And I feel like, so that would put him in, is that Congress, I believe? And then I feel like he has a career in the Democrat Party. If he does good, could even be a president. Let's look at, will Schlossenberger win his primary? Let's just do 3 cards. Let me look psychically. So I do the cards, kind of validate what I'm looking at, but I get visions and downloads, and that's how I read energy. Everyone does it differently. Okay, so let me just look. I see him winning. I see him winning. Because when I look at somebody winning, I look at them on the stage and I see the confetti or everybody going, yay, on winning night. And if they fall off the stage, I'm like, yeah, it's not a physical fall. It's like, yeah, they're not going to win. I feel like he's going to do it. This is part of the new energy coming in, Schlossenberger. And he's going to win the primary. Is he going to win the general? Yeah. I feel like somebody's supporting him. It might be Mondani, somebody on the left. I wish Obama would get out and support people and stop being so following the rules when there are no rules. They're not playing by any rules. We'll talk about that more with the shutdown. There aren't any rules anymore. So, I mean, they're not following. It's like if you're out there playing a baseball game and everybody's following the rules, and then they're just like running over and getting into fist fights and having people, drawn out on a stretcher, taken out. I mean, they're not following any rules. So you can't just say we need to go back to playing by the rules here. That's the rules are gone. And so Maybe we make up new rules, but right now we're not in. Because you heard Steve Bannon, he said that if we lose the midterms, we're all going to prison. They'll fight and they'll throw you off your health care. They don't care if people die. They do not care. They will starve you, throw you off your health care, lock people up, threaten people, intimidate people, invade cities with they kill people in boats that are fishing in South America. They'll do it. They do not care. They'll do anything. They do not care. So no more of this, the old party where we're like, well, we have to have decorum. Well, F that now. It's just, and I said F. I didn't, YouTube, don't mark me for that. Okay. All right. The basis of all my shows are it's going to be okay. We're going to get through this. We are going to have a new country and there's going to be new rules. And yeah. But we're going to go through some stuff. And here we are. We're in it now. We're in it now. Okay. So Schlossenberger. Let's pull some cards for you. I feel like he wins the general. Somebody's going to come in and support him. The Democrats are really going to come in and support him. Yeah, he's bringing the light. He's bringing the light. The old party is leaving. He's got a new message. And I feel like there's things about affordability, and he's going to bring in the light. That'll be a yes. Let's look at his future career in politics. Schlossenberger. Let's look at his future in politics. Because we need some new hope, Schlossenberger, where are you going? Let's look at the next several years. He could even run for president. Huh. Are you going to run for president? Maybe not right away. Not right away. I feel like Gavin Newsom's going to throw Gavin Newsom looks good to win. And there might be a woman running on the Democrat side. So I don't feel like he's going to do that right away. So let's look at him for the next 5 years. Now, that's a long way out and things could change, but I just want to see the general energy of Schlossenberger for the next 5 years. I feel like somebody is leaving. I keep seeing that somebody is leaving. The abuse is leaving. That's it. Abuse, politics where people get abused and lied to and scammed. So he's part of that new energy coming in. There, he has very good karma. It's not really decided, but it's good. Okay? This is good energy with him. This is holding on. I feel like we're more like here. Because these two cards came out together. I feel like he's able to hold on. And sometimes, like he's not that progressive or something. But I feel like he helps people with money. And people like him. Okay? So these are good cards. I'd say they're pretty darn good cards. Okay. For Schlossenberger. Let's look at Atlas. You guys know the name. The comet. They say it's a comet. Other people, I've seen some readers say that it's something else. And I think it's something else. And the idea here is that people have like, when are the aliens going to come and announce themselves so we know that they're there and it's not just us? And when are they going to let everybody know and it's going to be on TV? that they're here. Well, the problem is they've been here for thousands of years. They've been here since the beginning. They're already here. Some of us are incarnate from other planets, believe it or not. I know that sounds weird, but okay. So that's like another video. So they've been abducting people in some cases, or studying us, or helping us, or giving us new technology. And when I say abducting people, there are different types of aliens. And like if you were an animal and you saw what people do to animals, you would say they're abducting and they're killing us. We eat animals. I don't think like aliens are eating us, but I think they might be breeding with us, and they've been doing that for a long time. The problem here is that we are not far enough along evolved for them to just show up. Okay? So that's not happening. There isn't going to be, not anytime soon, some spaceship landing on the lawn of the White House or somewhere. The spaceships are landing everywhere. People have seen them. They've seen them in the sky. We've taken pictures. There's all kind of MUFON and just, this has been happening. I've talked to people and my clients who've seen and talked to aliens, like beings that are not human in physical form, that have walked into their kitchens or whatever. So this is not it. They only show up where they can make an influence, but they're not just, it's not going to be on the 6 o'clock news. Okay. That's not happening. What is happening is that this comet has the energy of nonviolence. This has been a very violent planet that we live on, and there's no reason for war. There just isn't any reason for aggression and war. It doesn't work. It doesn't, it's idiotic. There's enough to share. And if you think that killing a bunch of people and then a bunch of your people die and then you take their land is going to give you prosperity and power, you're living in the old world. This energy is leaving. It doesn't work. Okay. And what this comet, spaceship, whatever, we don't even know what it is. It's bringing in the energy of nonviolence and peace and a higher vibration for people. So that's my read on that. Okay. Is it studying us? Is it mapping things out? Sure. I'll say that. Okay. Okay. Will AOC take Schumer's seat? I think so. Let's talk about that with the shutdown. And I know some people won't like this, but I think she will. Okay. So Schumer doesn't have social media. He doesn't have charisma or chutzpah or he's not smooth. He's not able. He is able to manage his people. And I feel like, now this, you may disagree with me on this, and that's okay. I feel like this end of the shutdown was engineered by some people coming forward that saying, we'll take the hit. Because I'll tell you, cankles, and that we're never going to end this. There wasn't, so that's what I mean by playing by the rules. We're going to fight till we win. There was no winning this. Okay. There was going to be no end to this. And whether you want to hear that or not, or you're angry at them, the Democrats brought forward the understanding that yes, your insurance is going to go up significantly and people will die. And they wanted to put that message out, and they did. And it took a shutdown to do that. They also hoped that they could win, but you cannot win this fight. Some of my readings, it looks like, and I saw some readers say, this is never going to end. He wants it. He's been destroying the government since he got in there, cankles. and he's going to continue to destroy it. He does not want the Epstein files coming out. He's not going to open the government, okay? Now, I read that Russ Vought, whatever his name is, understood, not that he wanted to help people and open the government, but that it looked bad and they could lose elections because people are blaming them. And so for that reason, he thought the government should be opened, okay? Because there are other ways they can delay and hide Epstein evidence or lie about it. They lie about everything else, so why not lie about that too? So Russ Vought was pushing him like, you got to do this. Stephen Miller just wants hate. He doesn't want the government to be open ever, and Kankles is fine with that too. This is forcing them to open the government because we have to get health insurance back in a good place, or maybe even Medicare for all, which would be even better. And we will when we win the midterms. But the truth is, because of what the Republicans did, a lot of people are going to die from lack of health insurance. And I'm telling you, whether you think we could have held out and people are angry, and I understand your anger. I'm not saying it's wrong, but I don't think it would have worked. I think they would have just kept it shut down. They're okay with that. So was there some backroom deals made with Schumer? Like, okay, we'll take the hit. We'll do this. Because all these Democrats were people from Nevada who need tourists coming in, flying in. They need the airlines to be working. And there may have been kickbacks or, money coming from the airline industry, like, hey, help us out here. We're going to lose millions. But a lot of these Democrats who are taking the hit weren't going to run again anyway, or don't run for 6 years. Okay. So, I mean, this is politics. You have to make a deal. And I know we shouldn't make a deal with criminals, but he got him in the White House. He was not going to open it could have stayed shut. He's fine if it stayed shut. He does not care. He doesn't care if people die, if there's no Thanksgiving and no Christmas. He does not care. If more people lose their jobs, I mean, we can fix the healthcare thing, but if people don't go back to work or get their food stamps or whatever, you're not going to starve to death, but you could become quite ill. I mean, there wasn't, that's what I'm seeing psychically. If you don't agree with me, leave it in the comments. Sorry if that angers you, we do need to keep fighting. We do need to keep resisting and standing up. But I think this was the best way forward. Sometimes you just need to find a way forward for now till there's a better way. And because of this, we are destined to win the midterms because they are taking away your health care. The Republicans are taking away everyone's health care, even red states. And they know that. Okay? So, like it or not, that's what I'm seeing. And that's part of why I see us winning. Let's look at the stimulus checks. How many times in the last 3 or 4 months, because he knows he's losing popularity and he knows people were angry, especially after this election. Oh, I'm going to give $10,000 checks to all the air traffic controllers. Really? Where's that coming from? He said, well, the stimulus money. So when you look at the stimulus money he says he has somewhere, and what he would have to pay if he paid all the air traffic controllers a $10,000 bonus that went to work, he would be about $80 billion short. The numbers don't add up. He just says things. Or he wants a stimulus check coming out for $2,000. You can't buy health insurance for more than a month or two. Even maybe some families, that's not even a month of payments when they jack the price up. You cannot pay $2,000 to people and just go find your own health insurance. What? Or just go to the doctor. He has no sense of how things work. I don't even know how this works. I know how to read energy and look at chakras and do, look at past lives. I don't know dream interpretation. I don't know how this works, but I'm telling you, I can see psychically, it is not going to happen. I don't think it's going to happen. Let's see. Is he going to give any? But he is trying to give some money to some people so he could win the elections, because he's doing everything else. He's cheating, trying to gerrymander. They'll do anything. And he thought that he could scare people, starve people, scare people, take away their jobs, and they would be afraid of him, and then they'd vote for him because, now what's he going to do? Like a bully, like you give the lunch money, then maybe they'll stop beating you. Yeah. So is Kankle's going to give any stimulus checks? I don't know that he'll be around by the midterms. Okay. Is he going to give a stimulus check for air traffic controllers? And it's hard to read this because he changes his mind from moment to moment. And so that my reading would be, you can't trust this guy. He could change his mind at any moment. Okay? But let's see, more of the cabinet will direct him. Let me look psychically. Does Russ Vought want him to do this? No. Does Stephen Miller? Oh, no. No. I mean, Russ Vought is at least thinking about it, but he's like, yeah. I mean, if they tax billionaires, maybe they could have the money to do it, but they can't do that. They stopped throwing so many parties and rebuilding giant gold ballrooms. They could maybe have enough, but so let's look at, will air traffic controllers get a stimulus check? He wants to do this because he wants his name to be on the check. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's see. He wants to do this. He thinks it will strengthen him. I feel like he's going to try to do it. Something. Maybe not 10,000. I don't know. It could go either way. He could do it, or he could do treachery. And something like treachery would be like, fire all the other air traffic controllers. We only are going to pay the certain ones a certain amount. Something crazy is going to happen here. Okay. So if they get it, I won't be surprised if they also throw some other, because he doesn't really want to help people. He feeds off people's misery and anger and pain. I'm doing a video this week coming out on Thursday about forgiveness, and it doesn't mean that we don't hold people accountable legally. It doesn't mean what people did to us is okay. It does mean that we don't have to carry the pain anymore of what, and let it change who we are, what happened to us. So that it's like healing through forgiveness. A lot of people don't understand, and a lot of people don't want to do that. I understand, but the only way out is through. So, okay. So that's a whole nother video. But let's look at, will people get a stimulus check for like healthcare or something? Because they don't have a healthcare plan. He doesn't have a plan for healthcare. I see that eventually we get single payer Medicare for everyone, maybe in 2 to 4 years from now. But for now, we need the tax stimulus, I think it's called, of the tax credits, okay, for Obamacare to make to bring the cost down. So let's look at, will he give people a check, a stimulus check for health insurance or to try to win the election? Because some people actually say, well, he sent me a check, I'm voting for him. Oh my God. He wants to do this because it puts him, he feels like people will like him. They get a check with his name on it. He wants to try to control this and do this because he hears the booing at he's going to do it. He's going to do something. He's going to do some type of check. I think I read on that last week that looks like, yeah, he wants to have his name going out. I don't know how much it's like, what's it going to be? $200? That's what it was last time, $200 or $300. Wow. That doesn't even pay for groceries. Okay. Um, wait, is this going to be, is the Supreme Court going to, no, that would be if I feel like they will rule that he can't do the tariffs, but then they'll have to refund the companies so we'll get a kickback from that. But I don't feel like this is that. How much would it be? How much would it be, the check? And don't start counting on getting a check because this could change at any moment. He changes his mind, so, or he might not even be here because let's look at his health. How much would the check be? Probably not as $2,000, but depending on your household or your income or something, there could be some people getting, I don't know. It doesn't give me an amount. I see no numbers on this. Once again, he doesn't know either, so how do I know? All right, let's look at his heart. Okay. Some people say that they've taken pictures under his coat and under his jacket, that there's a heart monitor keeping his heart pumping. And he is talking about and doing things that are end of life, like, am I going to get into heaven? Kind of figured out, no, you're not. He is made a deal with the demons, Be kind of hard to fix that in 5 minutes. All the stuff he's done. Putting out minted coins with his name, wanting archways, that's what people do usually after they are wanting things named after them. It's usually after they die. It's not while they're still in office. So he's already like wanting, not caring what he does. He already didn't care what he does to people, but really just doing whatever he wants because he feels like he knows on some level that he's at the end. So all those signs are there, and people usually tell you in some way. 6 months before my mother passed, she said, when I die, you'll be able to talk to me. And I was like, okay. She also said, you're all going to be fine when I'm not here someday. Oh, what, okay. But so he's saying, will I go to heaven? He's looked at that because he knows that he's getting ready to leave his body. Okay, so is he wearing a heart machine? I think he is. I think he is. Not a pacemaker where they put it inside. I feel like he's had a stroke, but this is something to keep his heart going. I don't know what it's called. Is Kankles wearing a heart machine? It just seems really obvious. Yes, he has physical support from something that's helping him because it's a struggle. He's sleeping in the Oval Office during a meeting. Surprised he didn't start snoring. And you said, oh, Sleepy Joe, yeah. Well, had problems in the past. Yeah. 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 This is supporting him. They know, too. They're trying to hide it. The cabinet knows. People close to him know. That's why Melania came back for a little while, because she's like, and then they had an argument, and then she's like, yeah, whatever, I'm out of here. Now she's not around as much, but that's why she was there more, because he actually did have a close call. Yeah. Let's look at Newsom. Let's look at Jasmine Crockett. She will win re-election, but let's look at her for president. Would you be president? Her energy is amazing. People just love her. Jasmine Crockett, will you be president someday? The 3 cards. Oh, yeah. She might. I feel like she has aspirations to go further. She might have a loss, but then she'll win. So I don't know if it's going to be this time or if she's going to be VP or something. That'd be cool, her and Newsom. Or who knows? I don't feel like Schlossenberger's going to step. I feel like he's a little young, or he doesn't want to step on toes. So I feel like he kind of holds back a little bit. And we'll have to kind of look at him and see how he does. I know a lot of people like Buttigieg. Let me see. Will Buttigieg be president in 2028? Will Buttigieg be president in 2028? And it's not who I want. I'm just asking the cards, the guides. Oh, yeah. His energy look. Oh, no. He wouldn't. I feel like he might make a run. I feel like he'll be back in government. He's really standing up to Kankles. He's really going to fight back and do some good things. He has that military. He has Archangel Michael with him. He's strong. He's fighting back about Kankles, but no. So not this time. Not 2028. Maybe another time. Okay. All right. Check your subscriptions. I'm working on getting 20,000 subscribers, and I'm up to like 1880. And so help me out if you like these videos, and check me out live on Saturday, and then also healings and readings on Saturday. And thank you so much for tuning in and all your wonderful comments. I really appreciate you. I'm sending you love. And my guides told me to take good care of yourself. And I'm like, I am. Look, I take my vitamins, I exercise, I do my yoga, my meditation. I'm like, what do you mean? And they said, no, it's a life decisions that I've made in this life. Because I'm always making decisions to help other people. And so at first I'm like, why are you saying that? What more can I do? But it's more like an inside job, an inside frequency of really supporting myself and really taking excellent care of myself in the decisions that I make. So I want you to make sure that you're taking excellent care of yourself. that you're talking to yourself kindly, that you're doing things that you really want to do, or that you've agreed to do for service for others, okay? Which is huge, but that feel right also for you. And this is going to be the most important election, they always say that, of our time. Really, the whole world depends on us. So make sure also that you're resting up now when there's a lot of planets in retrograde and it's cold outside. Make sure that you're drinking your soup and your hot tea and that you're staying warm and that you're resting. Maybe I'll do some videos and sleep. I did a meditation with my master class. My members, is I call my master class now. I taught them a meditation. Um, when you don't get enough sleep, you still need to go in and kind of recharge your batteries. And 20 minutes of meditation is like 2 extra hours of sleep. So that can be really helpful too. All right. Take care, and we'll talk to you tomorrow. I'll have that video come out, or Saturday. I'll be on twice live. All right. Thanks. Bye for now.